Robbo, 2 goalless draws on the spin. We've looked a lot more like ourselves, I'd say. Where do you feel like we need to improve further to sort of get back in amongst the goals?
Yeah, it's just the final third. We've had a look at both games back, and it's just a bit of decision making in the final third. You know, we were talking to the boys today. You know, if you look at chances and you say, right, you number a chance, you go, well, a 10 out of 10 that's a great chance, and a 2 out of 10 is not such a great chance. And we're saying sometimes we're in the position where we're in a 2, 3 out of 10, and we find that extra pass, and someone's in a 7, 8 out of 10, and whether it be a little bit of anxiety or, you know, we're not making that right decision. There was 3 occasions against Morecambe where we could have found that extra pass and slid someone in, and the opportunity is a better opportunity. And there was 2 or 3 again the other night where we did the same thing. But that's what happens when, you know, there's a little bit, you're a bit anxious and you want to score. Your decision making might, you know, just go out the window. But as you said, we're getting in the right areas. It's not like we don't look like scoring. And I'm sure once one had come, you know, many more have come. So it's tiny little things. And I just thought the other night as well, just on transition a couple of times, we were a little bit sloppy. There was lots of good transitions and exciting transitions, but a couple of times we just didn't find our first pass well enough. And it's just those small details, but been really pleased with our shape behind the ball. You know, that we limited them to literally nothing first half, and even, as I said, the Milton Keynes game, it was the same once we then went down to 10 men. So it's just those fine details, really.
Absolutely. And then Burton Albion coming up next. Obviously their form's picked up recently. Are you sort of expecting a physical test like we've had the last few times we played them?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're a bit more expansive than they possibly were last season, though they play more. But yeah, it's always a physical test. So, you know, we'll be ready for that. And we've had a good look at them, and as I said, we feel that we're in good shape and we're competitive. And that's how we feel, Chris. We feel, bar Rotherham, we've been really competitive all season. Apart from that the enforced 3-week break, and we know that we dropped well below our levels, but we feel since Milton Keynes our energy levels are back up, and we're just looking forward to getting back firing and even improving from where we were previously when we were unbeaten in 5.
And how are we looking fitness wise? Obviously a little bit of worry about Ollie obviously going down, but he still carried on to his credit.
Yeah.
And then also Thomas, can you expect to involve him? Obviously, he hasn't been involved since he signed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the squad's a little bit bigger now, and we've got lots of attacking options. So Thomas is training well. Unfortunately, he's took a whack today, so he possibly won't feature this weekend anyway. Egley as well has had a slight tweak of a hamstring, so it might rule Egley out. But we've got plenty of attacking options, and I've got to also look at, you know, when I make changes, how we can not just maintain our intensity, how maybe we can have a bit more of a different kind of threat. So I want to look at that, you know, possibly a change of formation when we make our changes. So, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but how we can have an enforced threat, maybe if the goals haven't come like they have the last 2 games, because I feel at the moment we're kind of changing a forward for a forward. So I want to look at other ways how we can possibly, you know, if we are 0-0 or we haven't got a goal, how we can get a more enforced threat. So I want to look at that. But we've certainly got loads of attacking options. That's just what the lads have been training today. And Aaron Cosgrove's been on fire, Terry's on fire, Chiz, Dapo. You know, Dapo wanted to train again today, even though he played the bulk of the game. And I said I'm confident that once one comes, they'll start flowing again.
Definitely, and obviously with having all those options, it's kind of an extra problem in a way for you, keeping them all happy.
It is, and that's, you know, that's a new challenge for me. But the games are coming thick and fast now, and I keep telling the lads that, you know, Saturday, Tuesday, and you know, it's even the same with Will. You know, Will really, we didn't want him to play back-to-back games because the injury he had was more bringing back slowly, but we've had to play back-to-back games. But the good news is, Ben should be ready for come back Friday. We're hoping Ben will be back Friday, so Ben comes back in the frame for the weekend. So, you know, and then obviously we'll have PK not too far away either. So, you know, everyone's going to have a part to play, is the way I see it. You know, whether it's coming on and having an impact, or whether it's starting like that they did the other night and having an impact. Everyone's going to have a part to play. And as I said, I think the lads know that. You know, if you're a footballer and not playing, there's always an element of frustration. But they also know what we've got here. They love coming to work, and they're just itching to get involved, really.
Yeah, and it must be pleasing for you to have the likes of Marshy and also Dan coming in and performing so well after having to wait so long for their chance.
And these are the positives, Chris, like moving forward. Obviously, we want to be higher in the league, and we win our 2 games in hand and the picture changes. The situation don't change, the picture just looks very different. And but then you've got all those other positives that possibly people don't feel as positive about at the moment, that all of a sudden they become massive positives. The fact that Marshy's gone in there and looks excellent, so you're going, that's another bright young player that we've got at the club. Dan's gone in the other night and done really, really well. Another bright young prospect, So all these players with so much potential. Once we move up that table, all these positives will, going to put us in great stead for the future.
Don't want to ask you too much about transfers because I know you get asked almost every week by the press. With regards to other loan players we've got out, is there any chance of bringing some more back, or is that done now?
No, we were limited on the money that we had, and that's not a gripe, it just is what it is. So we brought in the 2, so it would just be a case of if a player left us, which I don't want, then that would give us some more money to bring back one in. So there's a couple of other little possibilities. We look in certain areas, but as far as I know, really, no, we're pretty much done on that unless the player wins.
How about with regards to our young players that are out on loan? Like anyone sort of impressing you that you may think are bringing back into the fold?
Yeah, possibly. Obviously, we've got to see how long Henry's going to be out for. So that leaves us just with the 3 fullbacks. So once I know exactly how long Henry's going to be out for, because that's a big loss to us, because Henry would have had a big part to play, then we can look at that situation. But because we've got some lads out on the loan doing very, very well. So yeah, that could be a possibility. It could happen.